Okay, here we go then for this GT Sport daily race around the Nurburgring GP circuit. This is just a bit of a test of my recording kit really. Just thought I'd use this bit of footage here to test things out, as I might do a bit more commentary from now on the GT Sport videos as we move towards the FAA races in April, I think it is. So yeah, here we go then. We're in 12th position at the start of the race. This is a 10-lap race with tyre wear and fuel usage on, and it's accelerated quite a bit as well, so you feel the tyre wear really quick, and the fuel as well. You get through your full tank of fuel in probably about 6 laps, I think I do here. So yeah, here we are underway. We're in driver rating A race and safety rating S, so we get some pretty good opposition. We're driving the Porsche 911 RSR, and yeah, we're in 11th position. There's somebody looks like has lost it there or something. We've gained the position there magically from 12th up to 11th as we go up the hill for the first time. You can see even early on here I'm struggling a little bit compared with the cars around me. I'd done probably about half an hour's worth of qualifying before this, and then jumping into it with a full tank of fuel, I really felt it. I didn't have confidence in the car at this point in the race. I didn't know how hard I could push. I was scared of making a mistake, so I was giving the curbs a wide berth and just struggling a little bit with the balance of the car early on. Also trying to save a bit of fuel. You can't see obviously from this replay cam, but as I say, I think I go to lap 6 here before I pit. I try and go a lap longer than everyone else just to try and do something a bit different and to get the lap of clear air on low fuel before I pit. You can see already the Mercedes there behind me is right on my gearbox already. I was just struggling for pace early on here. He got a better exit than me as well by the look of it. Decided to go defensive to the inside, and yeah, he's a little bit too far back though, I think. Let's go up in here. As whoa, the Porsche there goes down the inside of the Mercedes and makes contact with myself, which sends me into a half spin. But I survive, and I haven't actually lost a position there. It looks like it caused a bit of chaos with other cars behind though. But I managed to carry on and continue in 11th place, although we've now dropped a little fair way back behind 10th. As yeah, I was trying to save fuel in this first sector. I was trying to run sort of fuel stage 3 of 6. There's 6 stages, 1 being richest and 6 being the leanest. So I was trying to run 3 or 4 in this sector through the corners to try and save the fuel, and back to fuel map 1 now as we exit here down the straight. Yeah, just to try and eat the fuel out as long as I can, try and gain myself a bit of an advantage later in the race. It seems to work better for me than just matching what others do. And especially early on, as I say, when I was struggling with the car, I just felt that it gave me more confidence. I could be earlier on the throttle and more confident on the throttle, running a slightly leaner fuel mix without having to worry about spinning up the rears. As got a little tiny bit of a gap now between ourselves and the cars behind, but there is a bit of a backlog of cars there by the look of it. We're causing a little bit of a train, but nobody at the moment imminently about to make a move, as we're just trying to keep it clean, trying to hit the apexes. This car's quite sensitive. I'm running no traction control, no assists, in order to try and be as quick as possible, but it does make the car quite a knife edge, and you've got to be really smooth with your driving style. As you can see, I get a bad exit there. I didn't have a confidence again over the curbs, and the Porsche is down the inside. I can't do a lot here. I'm just holding it around the outside, attempting to, but nah, he's got the position. Good move from him there. I have more confidence over the inside of the curb than me. I was struggling through there. I could tell throughout this race and another couple of races I did during the day that I was really struggling. As we have a look here down the inside, do we? No, we think better of it. We back out of it. Slot into 12th place for the time being. But yeah, I can see a lot of cars into that final chicane. We're gaining time on us. I just didn't have the confidence to attack the second part of it. I was cutting the curb nicely on the first part, I felt, but on the second part, others were just able to run over the top of that curb and gain quite a bit of time on us as we lose the rear end there, and as does the car in front as well. And you can see he's already built a bit of a gap on us. We've now got another Porsche behind us. It is the Porsche show around here, unfortunately. If you're not in the Porsche, you're not quick. I ran a Mercedes in the first race I did around here in the day, and was about a good half a second or more a lap slower than I was able to do in the Porsche. So it was no-brainer really to switch to this for the second race. It does have quite different characteristics, which has also caused me a little bit of trouble trying to get used to the different way the car handles. It's definitely easier on the throttle, I think, with the Porsche than the Mercedes. I think the Mercedes got slightly better turning, perhaps, and mid-corner, but on corner exit, the Porsche, you can just nail it out of the corners, which at a corner such as this, the long straight, it just gains you so much time. And it's free time as well, just at full throttle. As, yeah, we're holding our own there in 12th. I was actually pretty happy with how things were going at the moment. I felt like I was driving pretty well, hitting the apexes everywhere. As I say, keeping to the fuel strategy. It's tempting just to abandon what you planned and just run max fuel to desperately try and keep with the cars, but if they were faster, I was trying to let them go. And here we go, we transition now to later on in the race. I think we're about to make a pit stop. As you can see, we're up into 5th, so it looks like others in front of us have already made their stop. We've gone the lap longer to the end of lap 6, and here we go, entering the pit lane. Carefully does it, trying to avoid running wide into the wall, which we managed nicely. And the pit crew are waiting for us. Quite long pit stops in this game as well. We're going to change tyres as well, because you can really feel the rears going off on this Porsche. By this stage I was struggling for traction and struggling under braking as well. I like to run slightly rear brake bias, but it was causing me some rear lock-in on the worn tyres. As now we sit and wait for the fuel. It's important to get this just right. Trying to judge it on the fly, it was waiting for it to go up to 4 laps remaining before we click go and resume the race. I think I went a bit over fuel for this second stint. From here on in, I think I ran max fuel all the way. I think I judged it pretty well as well. I think I had less than half lap of fuel left at the end of the race. So yeah, we're coming out now, fresh tyres, a lap fresher than everyone else. We can run max fuel until the end. And now it's about attacking. As you can see, we've gained some positions as well by going the lap longer. We're now up to 9th. I think we were running 11th or 12th before. So we've gained a couple of positions there. As we now cut to slightly further on in the race again. Gained another position. And here we go. The car in front of us now has made an error and given us a chance to attack. And he's run wide again there. Yeah, a couple of errors in a row. It's really easy to do. You make one mistake, you panic, and you make another straight after it, which he did, and it's put us right on his gearbox. And this is a good chance now, with the fresher tyres, to hopefully be able to attack for the position. But it is difficult to pass. As, yeah, decent line through there. This one again, don't overcommit to the corner. Get on the apex so you can get on the throttle as early as possible. Try and keep the rolling speed through the corner there as high as you possibly can. And keep with him. That's it. Keeping with him nicely there. Again here, it's all about the exit. And he loses it on the exit at the corner there. We have to take avoiding action. That was a bit unfortunate for us there. We had nowhere to go. We had to just slam on the brakes to avoid contact anywhere else, and we'd be able to sail straight by. But we ended up having to bail out of that one. As we now follow him through the corners. I think this is the penultimate lap of the race. So we've got 1 and a bit laps left to find a way by. As he gets a good exit out of there by the look of it. Not able to do anything, I don't think, into this braking zone. It's just going to be about keeping as close to him as we can. Nail that braking point, and that's it. Lovely apex there. Clipping the second one. And to the final corner. And final lap of the race. Again, tidy on the way in, and he's got a bit of a wiggle on. We get a better exit than him there by the look of it. It's putting us nicely into slipstream. Does make a bit of a different slipstream. It is handy. It's not guaranteed pass by any means, but it does give you a bit of an advantage. And spot the braking point, which we do. Tip it in, and we're right on his gearbox now. He seemed to be struggling a little bit through the sector compared with us. As he runs wide again. And can we? Yeah, we slotted down the inside. A little bit of contact, but we're through. That was a pretty good move, I think, I have to say. Spotted the gap there, a little bit of contact, but nothing too much. And here we go now. We're going to have to defend into this one. He holds it right outside. A little bit more contact again, but he can't hold it there. He has to back out of that one. Otherwise, he's just going to run out of road. He's cost himself a bit of momentum there. Yeah, that's given us a little tiny bit of breathing space. down this straight. I think probably there in hindsight, you probably shouldn't have tried to hold it around the outside there. Should have kept in the slipstream and gone for the move a bit later on in the lap. It's still close. You've got to keep it tidy now. That's a difficult corner as well to judge the speed to carry through there. You want to ride the curbs as much as you can to gain time, but you do risk losing the car. And again, hitting the apexes. It's just about trying to keep calm now. Yeah, good exit out here. If we can nail this exit, which it looks like we have, hopefully 7th position will be ours. And yeah, he's dropped back a little bit now. Spot the braking point again. And he's too far back. You just want that clear bit of air, otherwise you know into the last couple of corners if somebody's close behind you, they will go for it. They'll go for a dive bomb and they'll try and chuck it down the inside. But we had enough of a gap there. And we ran the final corner and take 9th place. And I was pretty chuffed with that result, to be honest. And that concludes this first Commentator GT Sport video. Hopefully plenty more to come in the future as we head towards the FIA official championship. Thank you for watching.